Hello, come in. It's good to see you today. I know you're just here because you want to see if a minimalist house looks weird. Like, how far have we gone? Would other people think you're weird if you decided to do something like this? I really don't think they would. So I want to show you around our minimalist house today. First, I'll give a quick walkthrough because sometimes there's some confusion about the layout of our house, and then I'll let you know how much have we gotten rid of, but mostly what have been the crazy, surprising benefits of living a minimalist lifestyle, living in a minimalist home that I never, ever, ever would have expected. Okay, so starting right here at the entryway, when you come in, this is our entry, and then we do have a nice good size closet here that functions really well. And then we walk in here, and then off to the left we have a half bath with our laundry room attached. You can hear the laundry running right now. And then off to the right we have our living room. Dining room, obviously the kitchen. Over here, this is kind of a unconventional space that we've used for homeschool stuff, just like where our computers are and everything, but it actually functions really well. And then if we go upstairs, there's 2 bedrooms, which I'll show you. And then if we go this way, this is our only full bathroom in the house. Straight ahead, we have a spare bedroom that we kind of use as like our main floor family room. And then off to this side is our master bedroom. Probably what gets a little confusing about the layout is, well, our old front door is in here. And then also, this door goes down to the basement, but where that blanket ladder is, keep an eye on that because I'm going to show you the confusing part when we go to the other side of that wall. Okay, so we'll walk back out of here. So you can kind of see again the whole layout from this angle now. The confusing thing is this door actually does not go anywhere. So on the other side of that is that blanket ladder. That room used to be, our master bedroom used to be a family room or living room. And so there used to be an entryway there, but we closed it up. And so we had put in this door before we did that, so we just left it. And it's fine. All right, and then like I said, upstairs, 2 bedrooms. Oh wow, our steps are super dirty. So we have the girls' bedroom straight ahead, and then the boys' bedroom off to the left. So to answer the question that comes up most frequently, do people ever think we're weird? Honestly, our house, because it's so small, I don't think anyone walks in and is like, oh, you guys are minimalist. It's so clear, like it's so stark and bare, and where is all of your stuff? You can see that it still feels very cozy. We still have some stuff, but it's actually when you start looking inside the cabinets and the drawers and the closets and you like realize like, oh wow, they actually only have 1 closet on this whole level. They don't have a lot of storage furniture. They don't have a lot of furniture in general. But again, because we still have personal touches, it's been important to us that it does still feel cozy and welcoming to guests, that we can have a minimalist home that has very low inventory and very little to manage, but still have it feel like a warm and welcoming place to live for us and for our guests. So if we haven't met before, I'm Dawn, also known as the Minimal Mom, and our family of 6 has lived as minimalists for about 9 years now. And that first year when we first found minimalism, I got rid of about 80% of our stuff on my own without telling Tom. It was just this experiment that I was doing because I felt like such a loser as a mom. I felt like I couldn't stay on top of our home, and I felt like everyone else had it together except for me. And so one day I was just Googling and I came across a podcast with Joshua Becker, and he said, "Did you know you don't have to have all of this stuff?" And my thought was, no, Joshua, I didn't know that we didn't have to have all this stuff. I thought we had everything that you have when you have 4 kids and you're running a household. But I was so desperate at the time that I was willing to give it a try, and I just looked at it as an experiment over the course of that first year. So I would use nap times, anytime the kids were occupied, I would work on my domains, my stuff, trying to pare it down, asking myself if I was using it, if I actually needed it. So again, I got rid of about 80% of our stuff. I did not touch my husband's stuff initially. And now looking back over the past 9 years, I can easily say we've gotten rid of 85% of our stuff, if not 90% of it. And we have not looked back. And in the beginning, it was just a housekeeping tactic. I wanted to stay on top of our home and not feel like such a loser, but I had no idea all of the incredible benefits that we would experience then along the way, making it so that I would never, ever, ever go back. And now I do everything I can to promote this message and to teach other women how to declutter their homes as well. But first things first, does it feel weird in our house? No, it does not feel weird at all. It doesn't feel weird when you walk in the door, and it doesn't feel weird to us not having all of that stuff. In fact, it feels very natural. We were not meant to manage all of this stuff. Our brains were not designed that way, and we live in such a noisy, loud, chaotic world right now that it's never been more important for us to have a safe, quiet place to come home to. We can do it. We can do the crazy, busy, all of the running and all the things we have to do, but we need a break from it, and that's what our home should be. A peaceful place where we can reset, recharge, rest, and then be ready to re-engage the world again the next day. So I believe that's what we've created. Another question is, do you miss any of this stuff? Now, I go into more depth about that in a recent video, so I can link to that, but no, absolutely not. I do not miss any of it. I don't want any of it back, and that's what I continually hear from other women as well. How big is our house? Our house is only about 1,300 square feet. So we live in Minnesota, just outside of the Twin Cities. In fact, this was the home and the farm and the property I had always wanted to live in my entire life. And so that dream came true about 8 years ago. And over the years, we have remodeled. We've been able to make changes to make it function really well. But it is remarkable to me that as a family of 6, we have 4 kids, ages 9 through 14, that we can live very comfortably in a relatively small space because of how much we have simplified. In fact, I see it now as a gift that we don't have tons of square footage that we have to take care of. Ooh, how about this question? Do we judge other people now when we go to their homes? No, absolutely not. I'm not that far removed from being a messy mom that couldn't stay on top of things. I'm naturally a messy person. And in the past, I've often joked that, oh, I just had to get rid of all of our stuff because that was the only way I could stay on top of it. But there's actually a lot of truth to that. So I know how all of this stuff accumulates. I know that it's never been easier to acquire things. And I also know, though, the stress and the anxiety and the mental burden that all of these physical things create. So if I came to your home, am I looking around like, oh, there's piles here and that? No, absolutely not. I might be thinking, oh, I'd love to help them with this. Oh, I bet their home would feel more peaceful if they had less inventory, as I like to call it. But no, we don't judge people when we go to their homes. And I also no longer worry that our kids are missing out or that they're gonna go to other friends' homes and feel envious. When our girls were younger, when we had just started minimalism and I'd highly simplified their toys, they went to a friend's house, and when they got home, they were so excited to tell me about all the toys that their friend had. They had a Barbie dream house and all of the things that went with it, along with all of these other toys. And even though I had been experiencing the benefits of minimalism, I thought it was awesome for myself and for the kids. That caused me to stop and question myself if I was doing the right thing. None of us want to do anything that would adversely affect our kids, right? And so I was like, oh no, what have we done? Maybe I've gone too far with simplifying their stuff. So that Christmas, I found a Barbie dream house on Marketplace. I was so excited to give it to them. Do you know how many times they played with that? Maybe twice, hardly ever. And so we ended up putting it back on Marketplace. I think it's important to remember that sometimes when our kids notice things that other people have that we don't, they're simply making an observation. Or even if it is based out of envy or something else, it's like anything else in life that we have to navigate. There's always going to be people in the world that have things that we don't. What do we do about it, right? And for most of us, we know now that stuff does not make us happy, but relationships do. And that has been another awesome benefit of minimalism. We have time to spend with other people, to welcome people into our home. Even for this, I was so excited to have you over, but I didn't have to prepare for days in advance to get the house ready. And that feels so good. So people can drop in, we spend time with others. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what other people think about us and our housekeeping skills, but I do see how that was keeping me from having people over or doing play dates with our kids when our house was always a mess. And so it's nice to have that option now, at least. I'm also often asked, like, what were the hardest things to get rid of? For me, it was clothes. We grew up very modestly, and so if we would come across name brand clothes or clothes that were really cool, then that was just something that we hung on to, we took really good care of. And so as I got older and I could buy my own clothes, and often I was buying things that didn't fit great, weren't the right style for me, but they were name brand. And so I thought that I just had to have them. So those were a little more difficult for me to part with. And we have lots of great videos now where I walk you through that process. Sentimental stuff, like kid stuff in the beginning was not hard, but as our kids have gotten older, I find that I'm more attached to their things. But we also have a great system with memory boxes that works so well. And I always know that all of the most special of special things are in a safe spot and we can visit them whenever we want. So that's been a really helpful tool too. But again, going back to this idea of protecting our mental health, there's so much research now that shows that clutter is very stressful, and that when we're in a cluttered environment, that stress and anxiety levels go up, as well as the incidence of depression. And so there's really a lot at stake here. And again, most of us don't actually tie that together, the impact that our environment is having on our mental health. I got this email recently from Ashley. She said, I was having issues breathing. After doing extensive medical testing to figure out nothing was wrong with heart and lungs, we figured out that most likely the cause was anxiety and stress. Who knew? I have a great life and figured it was no more stressful than any other mom in my situation. Life was just what it was, right? But after finding this out, I set out to simplify my life to reduce stress and anxiety. And that's when I found you. You literally made it so I can breathe again. Thank you for helping me navigate decluttering and giving me the language to communicate and teach these things to my family too. Melanie said, I wanted to write and share an experience I had with watching your videos. I battled severe chronic fatigue my entire adult life, and I'm certain the Lord used an intense flare-up to guide me to your videos. I was forced into bed, and like the doer I am, I couldn't bring myself to just lie there or to watch mindless movies. I was prompted to watch educational YouTube videos, and your videos spoke to me. I have wound myself up in toxic relationships due to childhood trauma and severe codependency. I tried everything I could get my hands on to cure the codependency, books, courses, therapy, etc. Nothing worked. But as I began to declutter my home, a huge shift started to manifest in my life, a shift I hadn't expected. Of course, I felt the peace from a clean and simple home, but I experienced a miracle in my emotional life. Decluttering cured my codependency. My mind is blown. Learning the art and flexing the muscle of letting go over and over gave me the ability to let go of toxicity in my relationships without even trying. I was able to let go of relationships that were destroying my health. I'm learning more and more about mind-body connection, and decluttering has healed me in so many ways. I wanted to write and thank you. I am changed. I am healthier, freer, and I have a peace I didn't feel was possible. I love how Melanie describes that, because in the beginning, I was experiencing all of these same things in our minimalist home. And I thought, well, it must just be me. I was such a mess before. I must be the only one that is feeling at peace, feeling that anxiety is going, or at least it's easier to manage. Feeling like I can honestly tell you my house is easy. Even with 4 kids, our house is easy. And again, I just thought like, well, it must just be me, right? But now as I've gotten to work with other women and I hear these stories, literally these same stories every single day, I realize that we're all more alike than different. And I believe that highly simplifying and decluttering your home could make a world of difference in your life too. I love what Gretchen Rubin, the author of Outer Order, Inner Calm says. She says it's a disproportionate payoff. When we simplify and declutter our homes, it's a disproportionate payoff. Because I did the work of simplifying 9 years ago, and I have gotten to reap the benefits and the rewards year after year since then. And it's not hard to maintain. Once you get there, you want to protect this feeling and this peace. And so it's not hard. And like I said before, it feels incredibly natural. Oh, and I didn't mention too, my confidence in myself has increased exponentially as well. And that's what I hear from other women too. So if you've been feeling down, stressed, anxious, like you lost confidence in yourself, I believe that physically simplifying our home, bringing our physical environment into order, begins to pull all the other pieces of our life into order as well. So if this sounds intriguing to you, I'd love to spend more time with you. We have hundreds of videos to help you simplify and declutter every single area of your home, and to do it in a safe way where you don't have to worry about making mistakes. So you might consider subscribing, but definitely I will link to some playlists here that have my best of the best videos when it comes to decluttering. And I'm really excited for you because it just keeps getting better and better. I love you. I hope you have a really good day, and I hope I'll see you again soon.